Good morning, students. In this video, I shall discuss the important terminology related to this chapter, that is principles of heredity and variation. As we know, every subject has its own terminology and own vocabulary. And without knowing this vocabulary and terminology, it is very much difficult to understand the contents of that particular topic. Now, mostly the biological terminology are more important because these are either derived from the Greek or the Latin words, not pure from English. That is why we have to discuss this terminology first, then it will be easier for you to understand the topic. Now, first one, now what is heredity? Heredity is the most important terminology, and it is the transmission of character, normally the transmission of characters from one generation to the next generation. That process by which the characters are transmitted. Normally, during the reproduction process, the male organism is there, female organism is there. From the male and female, the young one develop, and all the characters of father and mother, they are going to the children. But how these characters are transmitted from father to mother? It may be your genotype character, phenotype character, whatever character. So this process of transmission, it is called heredity. And this terminology is frequently used here. Then the variation. So whenever the characters are transmitted from one generation to the another generation, there is sometimes they are transmitted in the exact form. So they are not transmitted in the exact form or exact copy. So at the time, some sort of changes occur. Sometimes this heredity or the transmission, the heredity and variation, both are going on simultaneously. What is variation then? Now, whenever there is 90% similarity, that is called similarity, and there is some 10% changes occur during the transmission of the character from one generation to the next generation. So this type of changes which occurs during the transmission process, that is called variation. And heredity and variation just like the two sides of a coin, because without variation, no heredity can be possible, because whenever there is heredity, there is some sort of variation, maybe 1%, maybe 0.1%, or maybe sometimes 50%, maybe sometimes 60%, like that. So whenever the heredity is 90%, then variation is 10%. When variation is 90%, then at that time heredity is 10%. So that is why whenever there is heredity, there is some sort of changes occurs during this process, and that is called variation. Now next one, phenotype. Then what is this phenotype? Phenotype is nothing but your external appearance of the organism. There are so many characters which are present inside the body. These are the internal characters. But there are some characters which are normally expressed to the outside. That is called the external characters, you can say, or external appearance of the organism, or you can say this is the morphology. So this morphological character of an organism, which are normally present in the external appearance or external character, then they are called the phenotype of an organism. Now, what is the genotype? Normally, whichever characters are expressed, suppose this is the character, and this character, when it is expressed by certain genes or certain chromosomes or certain genetic factor, you can say. So the gene or the factor or the DNA molecule, as we shall discuss in later, so these are responsible for the expression of the character. Now, whatever genotype or the genes present inside the organism which are responsible for the expression of the character, this is called genotype. So the complete genotype of an organism, it actually determines the phenotype or the character of the organism. Now, in case of Mendel's experiment, we shall study the genotype for the tall plant. It is the appearance when the plant is tall like this. Then this is the phenotype. this tallness character, it is the phenotype of that particular plant. But the genotype, we denote it as the capital T, capital T. It is the genotype of this plant. That means these two alleles present together to form a gene, and this gene is responsible for the expression of the character. So that is why capital T, it is the genotype of this particular character, and the tallness which is appeared from the outside, it is the phenotype of that particular plant. So that is why these are the phenotype and genotype. And what is a gene? Gene is nothing but the functional unit of the heredity. Whenever there is heredity or transmission of the character from one generation to the next generation, at that time some units are normally responsible for this, and this gene is nothing but it is the functional unit of heredity. So whenever the characters are transmission from one generation to the another generation, suppose one character is transmitting here, so this character is transmitted from a gene. So gene is nothing but the segment of the DNA who is actually responsible for the expression of a particular character in the organism. So that is why this gene is called the functional unit of heredity or the transmission of character from one generation to the another generation. Now, these genes are sometimes denoted as capital T, capital T. So, in the next case, these capital T, that means these are the unit factors. These are called the alleles. One gene consists of two alleles. Sometimes those two alleles are sometimes homozygous, and so that is in case of capital T, these are the homozygous allele, and suppose it is capital T and small t, then in this case it is heterozygous allele. So in every case, sometimes it may be a small t, it is homozygous recessive, it is homozygous dominant, but it is heterozygous and it is a hybrid one when both dominant and the recessive gene is normally present here. Now, what are homologous chromosomes? These homologous chromosomes, they are normally in a diploid organism, the chromosomes are present in pairs. That means, suppose you can take the example of human being. In case of human being, the father and mother, they are responsible for the transmission of character. Now, it normally comes the gamete, that is the male gamete, and this male gamete contains 23 chromosomes, and from the mother, the female gamete or the egg cell, the female gamete comes, and this female gamete contains 23 chromosomes. So these 23 chromosomes and these 23 chromosomes, normally these are the gamete and this is the female gamete, and in the offspring, here what happens, the chromosomes of father and chromosomes of mother, suppose chromosome number 1, 2, 3 up to 22 plus here suppose X or Y in case of male, and from the mother it comes 1, 2, 3 and up to 22 and it is X. So these chromosomes are actually coming from father and mother, but in case of offspring or the children, these two sets of chromosomes, one set from father and one set from mother, they remain together in the offspring. So in the offspring, they remain together. So here what happened? Chromosome number 1 of father and chromosome number 1 of mother, chromosome number 2 of father and chromosome number 2 of mother. Like that, these are the homologous chromosomes. These two which are similar and they bear the similar character, and that is that they are called the homologous chromosome. And in case of human being, these chromosomes are up to 22. They are homologous. But in case of male child, it is XY type. So in this case, these are not homologous, but these are heterologous because the X chromosome is there and Y chromosome is there, and X is totally different from Y. Now this is called homologous chromosome. Now, what are the contrasting traits? As we shall discuss it later on, but the contrasting traits means either or character. Some characters, when they are expressed in the offspring, normally these characters are expressed in either or form. Suppose this is the tallness character in case of pea plant and dwarfness character in here. So in this case, what happens? This tallness and dwarfness character, these two are contrasting character because one plant never be tall and dwarf both. If one plant never be tall and dwarf, either the plant is tall or either the plant is dwarf. But the plant will never be tall and dwarf both. So that is why this type of characters are called the contrasting characters. And these contrasting characters are very much important for the genetic study here as explained in the Mendel. Next is the genome. Genome, what is genome? Genome is the complete set of genes or the DNA molecule which are present in the chromosome, and it is the complete set to express all the characters of the organism. So this is called a genome. So the genome of human being means this contains the genetic information or genetic material which contains all the information related to that particular organism. Now next, what is a dominant allele? Normally in a particular genetic expression, every gene there consists of two alleles. As we have already taken the example of this is your tallness, this is tall gene, and this tallness gene is normally having two alleles, capital T and capital T. So here another dwarfness gene. So when the plant is dwarf, this dwarfness gene is small t. Now when these two are normally breed together or cross is done, then one character is expressed or dominated over the other. Suppose gamete is T here, another gamete is T here, and in this case capital T and small t. But both the alleles remain together, but this allele is expressed and this allele is suppressed. So when this allele is suppressed, that means it is not expressed. So the allele which is expressed in the next generation, that is called your dominant allele. And the other allele which is not expressed, that is the suppressed. So that is called the recessive allele. So everywhere, whenever there is in the hybrid form, or when both the alleles are heterozygous allele, you can say in the heterozygous allele, zygous condition, normally this dominant and recessive alleles both are present, but the dominant is expressed. Now the recessive suppressed. Now what is a gene symbol? Normally here this capital T, these are taken as the gene symbol. This is for tallness. So tallness is the character. Capital T is the gene. And these symbols which are capital T, commonly used for the expression or symbolic expression of the particular experiments, or normally these breeding experiments or crosses at the time. So they are called the gene symbol. And whenever the genes are in recessive form, that is dwarfness, then these are written as small t. So capital T for dominant, small t for small, and when it is in hybrid condition, or that is called capital T, small t. So what is this hybrid? When here, suppose this is a pure dominant and this is a pure recessive, then the gamete is capital T, here the gamete is small t, then the offspring which is formed here, it is your capital T, small t. Now this one, having both the alleles, one allele from dominant parent, one allele from recessive parent, but here in the F1 generation, in the F1 or first filial generation, here it is a hybrid gene. And this hybrid gene, it is having two alleles, one is the dominant, another is the recessive, and this one is also commonly used in the different experiments conducted in the genetics. Now, next video we shall start the experiment of the Mendel. I think this video will be helpful for you because so many terminology which are commonly used are explained here, and if it is really helpful for you, then please like it and subscribe it. Thank you.